know that unbelievable attack. The United States has attacked Venezuela, multiple strikes all across the capital of Caracas, there in Venezuela. And we're finding out just moments ago, President Trump is going to be speaking to the nation. He will give an update on the attack. Donald Trump is about to give an update as the United States has captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife and has launched strikes against the country of Venezuela. Maduro has been indicted in New York on drugs and weapons charges, according to the Attorney General Pam Bondi. She's adding that he will face the full wrath of American justice on American soil in American courts. Trump says Maduro and his wife were captured from a fortress-like house and are being taken to New York on a ship. The U.S. president says there were a few injuries, but no deaths on our side. Venezuela has declared a national emergency, denouncing extremely serious military aggression. According to the BBC, they're verifying the locations where the locations may have taken place. I don't know what I just did. Where did it go? There we go. Sorry about that. So while that's happening, Venezuelans in the capital of Caracas say they have been expecting a U.S. military strike for some time. One resident says the explosions were like nothing I've ever heard before, while another says it was almost relief that it's finally occurred. Trump spoke with Fox News for more than a dozen minutes in the last hour. While he confirms some details of the overnight strike on Venezuela, he left some big questions unanswered. We're expecting to hear more from him in the next few moments. And according to the president, Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro and his wife have been captured and are on their way to the United States. No American soldiers were killed in the action, although there were some injuries. The U.S. is prepared for a second wave of strikes against any Maduro loyalist remaining in the country. Trump also said he believes the American companies will be heavily involved in the rebuilding of Venezuela's oil infrastructure. What is less clear is how committed the U.S. will be to rebuilding the rest of Venezuela, a nation that is both economically and politically in shambles. Trump was non-committal about who would take over the country now that Maduro is gone. Trump said last night's action sends a signal that the United States is not going to be pushed around by other countries anymore. The rest of the world, particularly America's hemisphere and its hemispheric neighbors, are sure to be anxious about exactly what the American president, who appears comfortably using military force, might mean to that. Okay. Hang on a second. There's more. Okay, there's quite a bit of bombing was going on in Venezuela last night. I would think the United States has identified someone or several someones that could potentially become the new leaders of Venezuela that they would like to help encourage to take over Venezuela. Or I could say it this way, an American puppet leader. But I think that we would rather it be someone who's already an opposition leader to Maduro, who could. Now, here's what they're saying. There's a person there who's making a report. Here you can see some of the commandos involved in this raid. Danella, who did not want to give her real name, lives very close there to a military airfield that was hit in the strikes. Danella says it's too dangerous to go out because although Maduro is gone, all the rest of them are still in charge. Danella says Venezuelans are expecting a U.S. military operation for quite a while and adds that for her, the overnight strikes are almost a relief to know it has finally happened. But like others in Venezuela, another person, not her real name, has also been expecting a U.S. military strike, but was surprised how early in the new year it happened. She said, I'm so happy my chest hurts. Now, outside her home in Caracas, the streets are quiet at the moment. She says she's waiting to hear from opposition leader Maria Machado. Her name is Maria Corina Machado, and the U.S. President Donald Trump. In other words, they think she will become the new leader. Her name is Maria Corina Machado. So, guys, that might be the individual who will become the new president of Venezuela. So, again, these strikes took place last night. This abduction of Maduro and his wife happened as well. And President Trump will be speaking very soon to find out just how close we are, or just where we are. As I just said, Pam Bondi has already said that Maduro will be tried in a U.S. court. So he's no longer in Venezuela. Now, you might say this is a radical move to go in and take a guy out who is president of a country, but we've done this before. Years ago, George H.W. Bush went in and took out Manuel Noriega out of Panama and brought him to the United States. He was tried on a ton of drug charges, cartel, racketeering, you name it, because he was in charge of a country and he was running a drug operation. It was a narco state. And he wound up being sentenced to life in prison in Marion, Illinois. Okay. So this isn't the first time, and it probably won't be the last time. But let's just look at how the media responds to it. Because when George H.W. Bush took out Manuel Noriega, he was hailed a hero for liberating a nation and shutting down a narco state operation. Will Trump be considered a hero in the press for this move, or a villain? You do the math. I'll be back with more current world events. You know what I was doing before this happened, or before I came live on here today? I was reading this morning Dwight D. Eisenhower's farewell address. I can show you. I was reading Dwight D. Eisenhower's farewell address. And one of the things that he wrote was a vital element in keeping the peace in our military establishment. Our arms must be mighty, ready for instant action, so that potential aggressors may be tempted, aggressors may be tempted to risk their own destruction if they decide to attack, basically. But he did say that we face a hostile ideology, global in scope, atheist in character, ruthless in purpose, and insidious in method. And I was also putting together the potential lineup of speakers for our next webinar coming up, which is going to be called The Beast Cometh. It's going to be January 26th, and it's going to focus a lot on the agenda of this month's meetings by the World Economic Forum. Okay? So, wow. I'll be back with more breaking news as it develops. Give your life to Jesus Christ. This is the coming apocalypse. And I'm Pastor Paul Begley.